Has something ever been so simple that you forget it altogether? Well, that happens in design all of the time. But don't worry, because in today's video, I'm talking about all those little things that you're forgetting, but will make a huge impact when it comes to your home. Before we get into today's video though, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and check me out on Instagram. And I want to say a huge thanks to Wayfair for sponsoring today's video. And I will tell you more about Wayfair and my new show, Interior Motives, over on the Wayfair YouTube channel a little bit later on. Let's get into today's video. These days, everyone loves to find art on demand, right? You don't always want to wait for an artist to make it, or you maybe just haven't found an artist yet that is really resonating with you. That's okay. But have you ever gone out shopping and you see a piece of art and you're like, that is perfect, but it is in the wrong orientation? I feel like this happens to the best of us. And the solution here that is so simple is to rewire that painting. And I know you're like, that is so simple, but I literally never thought about that. But this is possible. If a painting does not have a signature on it, which most of the ones from your normal stores do not, you can just flip the orientation of whatever that painting is. If it has wire, you can literally just take one side of the wire and move that hook to another part of the painting. If they were able to screw into one part of the frame, you can screw into another part of the frame. If you don't feel confident using the wire that the painting came with, just use a claw hook. You can get claw hooks from literally any hardware store. Honestly, you can get claw hooks from your local dollar store. They are really that affordable. And just attach it to any painting. I know this tip is so simple that you're like, this is stupid, but it's really going to open doors for you when it comes to artwork, because I find pieces I love all the time, but the orientation just doesn't work. I rarely want a painting that is in its landscape orientation, but I can flip it vertically. That is going to be a game changer for me. So start adding more screws to your frame, adding those claw hooks, and I promise you, the art you find out and about is going to take you a lot further, and you're going to save yourself so much more money. Now, this next tip also has to do with art. Do you ever get a painting and you can't figure out how you want to hang the series? This is especially prevalent when it comes to a gallery wall. You're like, well, I got one up. I don't know how I'm going to get the other 5 up, because how are they going to make a straight line? I'm telling you, the first time I put up a gallery wall for a client, that's when I thought my design career was going to be over, because it was so difficult and I didn't know this trick yet. If you want to hang up a series of paintings, you want to do a gallery wall, and you want to get everything in a straight line, you have to use tape. What you do is you take those paintings and you use tape to like measure the distance between the holes that are already existing on those paintings. So most paintings come with hooks on the back of the frames. So you want to measure the distance between those hooks using a piece of tape. Then you put that piece of tape up on the wall, and then you use another piece of tape to space out the paintings. This way, you know exactly where to put the holes in the wall, and you know exactly where the top of your paintings are going to be. All you have to do is do a little bit of math, not too much math, a little bit of math, and get some tape, and you will have the perfect arrangement of your portraits every single time. No more putting 1,000 holes in the wall and calling the holes themselves art because you've made so many of them. You don't have to do that anymore. No more screaming at your partner because they messed up the wall you just got painted. If you use tape, you will not only get the spacing of the holes for each painting correct, but you will also align that gallery wall beautifully. Just create a template using tape up on your wall and you will be good to go. Now, this tip is simple, but it is an absolute game changer. And I don't say that lightly. So the next interior design tip that is so simple is that when it comes to your living room, you need to have at least one piece of furniture that converts into a bed. Have you ever had someone come over, your parents, for example, and they're like, oh, they're judging you for like your house not being pristine. And then after all that judgment, they steal your bed and you have to sleep on the sofa. Oh, that is so annoying. Or they leave you on the floor. We never, ever, ever want that to happen again, because your back, it just can't take it. So what you want to do is make sure that in your living room, you either have a chair that converts into a bed, or you have a sofa that converts into a bed, or something like that. If you want to know how to turn your living room into a covert guest room affordably and stylishly, you need to check out the latest episode of Interior Motives on the Wayfair YouTube channel. You may know Wayfair from their website, where they have just truly incredible furniture, right? I just literally can't stay off their website because their furniture is so amazing. But they also have a YouTube channel. And guess what? They have a brand new show called Interior Motives, and I am your host. On Interior Motives, we break down the most difficult of design dilemmas and we fix them. We come up with practical and stylish solutions, and there is nothing better than that. Now, this episode is one of my favorites because we talk about how to turn your living room into a guest room in like under a minute, right? It's super covert, it's stylish, and it is so good that your mom and dad will love it. Yes, your mom will walk in and say, wow, this is so good. And it will pain her to say that, right? But it will look absolutely fantastic. Now, Interior Motives is not the only show on the Wayfair YouTube channel. They also have other series like A Style is Born. If you want to check out the entire season of Interior Motives, which you definitely should because all the episodes are jam-packed full of useful information, you need to smash the link down in the description box. Not only should you click on the link to check out the other episodes, but you should also subscribe to Wayfair so that you can stay up to date on all of their fantastic series. I promise you won't regret it. Now, let's talk about the next interior design tip, so simple that you're probably forgetting it. The next design tip that you're probably forgetting is that when you're selecting paint for your home, you need to do the swatches in different parts of the home. Sometimes people look up like a swatch of paint, whatever they give you at the hardware store, and they're like, that's it. You can do that. You know, like if you were that bold, that's fantastic. Honestly, I aspire to be like you. But a lot of the times we actually need to see that paint in different lights and in different rooms, especially if you want to use one paint color for the entire home. And let's pause here. If you want to see a video on the best paint colors for your entire home, let me know down in the comments because I will make that video for you. But I want to make sure first that it's going to be valuable to you. But if you're looking for a paint color for your entire home, you need to test it out in all the rooms to make sure that it works. Because a paint color might look really good in your living room where there's tons of natural light, but in your bedroom it might look like a cave that Gollum is in. And God, I gotta stop with the Lord of the Rings references. I don't know, I'm just really on them. You gotta make sure that it is welcoming or it's giving off the right vibe in all of the rooms. You can't just test it on one wall and say, okay, let's do it, let's get 20 gallons of it. I promise you that's going to be a mistake. Now, if you don't want to paint on all your walls, which is totally fair because a lot of us will start a paint project and then we're like, oh, you know what? We're gonna skip out on it, and then we have swatches on all of our walls. We don't want to do that. So what we want to do instead, they actually have lots of like sample stickers that you can buy, and you can take these sample stickers and take them to different parts of your house so that you can see them in different lighting. I promise you, just do the swatches in every single part of the house if you're gonna do a whole house paint, and look at it in different lighting. So look in the morning, around lunchtime, and at nighttime, look at the different lighting, see how that paint swatch makes you feel, and then go from there. Don't ever choose a paint color without looking at it at nighttime, because then you're gonna have to call your paint guy back up because he's gonna have to come back, and he's not gonna be upset because he's going to make more money, but you and your wallet, you're gonna be mad. Do you ever make your bed but something just feels a little bit off, and like so off that you think about it like at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 3 p.m. as you're getting back into bed at the end of the night? Well, the thing that is off is the fact that your pillowcase is too big for your pillow, because most shams, they're too big and they have that little bit of overhang that just never looks pristine. It just never looks good, even if you press it every morning, and most people don't have time for that. So the trick here is to take that excess sham and fold it into the pillow. I know, revolutionary. They're just like sparks flying off in your head. There's a light bulb going off. Like Benjamin Franklin's like, yeah, I mean, it's really not that big of a deal, but this trick is such a game changer. You're just gonna fold that excess sham into itself, and you're gonna get a nice clean seam on the side of your pillow, so it looks like it perfectly fits that pillow, even though it doesn't. This is the tip. So simple, you're probably forgetting it, but every bed you make from now on is going to look straight out of a hotel, but minus the fact that tons of other people have slept in it because you don't actually live at a hotel. But try this out, let me know how it goes, and let me know down in the comments. The next tip that is so simple that you're probably forgetting it is that you need to incorporate clothes storage into your home. Kiva, you're talking about clothes storage again? Yes. User number 12345. I am talking about it again because it is so important. It's so important. Clothes storage looks sophisticated. It looks sexy. It creates like some mystery, right? You want a man of mystery, you got a cabin of mystery. What's in there? Is it full of mess, or is it full of, you know, really great decor? We'll never know. So in all seriousness, you want to start incorporating clothes decor because, again, it can be as messy as possible. And you know what? I don't believe that everyone should be clean all the time, right? So you want to have some clothes storage. Clothes storage also can create like a domineering kind of moody vibe that a lot of spaces actually really need. If you ever feel like your space is too open, right? Or a little bit too feminine or something like that, add something a little bit more domineering. It'll actually really change up the space and make it feel a little bit more industrial, a little bit more harsh and cold, which a lot of us actually really like when it comes comes to design. Adding clothes storage, it doesn't have to be a huge cabinet full of clothes storage, just something really simple, like a box, like a cabinet, like a little basket with a lid on it. It doesn't have to be something major, but it's something that can actually make your space look a little bit more closed off, which sometimes can be a really, really valuable thing when it comes to design. When everything is open, it just requires way too much maintenance. So this is a way to actually save some time and improve upon your current design. Okay, you guys, that's it for today's video. Those are some interior design tips that are so simple, you're probably forgetting them, but they're going to make a huge impact, right? I hope that your mind was blown for every single second of this video. That's wishful thinking, but I really hope that that was the case. Which of the tips from today's video are you going to implement? Be sure to let me know down in the comments. If you liked today's video, please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and check me out on Instagram. And please click on the link down in the description box to check out the newest episode of Interior Motives. It would mean the world to me if you could check out the show. And honestly, it is just full of so much useful information that we've never even touched upon on my own channel. I'm leaving a link down in the description box. Click on it, subscribe to Wayfair, and go check it out. I promise you, you won't regret it. Until next time, have a beautiful day.